Welcome, guys. My name is Zia. This is Crypto Polaris, and you're here for Bitcoin price prediction. I've got an interesting price prediction because I have programmed the artificial intelligence with some assumptions and real data, and it gave out those numbers that you saw on the thumbnail. And I'm going to walk you through my spreadsheet of all the data that I fed into the AI, and it gave me a very realistic two sets of number. One based on last bull market, and the other based on FOMO and exponential growth. So let's dive right into it. This is the agenda. I'm going to walk you through and remind everyone what are the catalysts that's going to drive this Bitcoin price forward, okay? And one of the biggest catalysts that just came out today is what on this, which is the Genius and Clarity Act. And we'll talk a little bit about that when I get into that slide about the catalyst. But that is really pushing things forward by 3 to 4 months really fast. Go through how big the Bitcoin industry is, the market is, and global impact of Bitcoin, the tax implications of Bitcoin, the Bitcoin asset, how it grew. And I'm not going to spend a lot of time. This is just quickly to level set everyone in case this is the first time you're looking at Bitcoin. So I want to do that, but this will be a really rapid video. I'm going to touch on M2 money supply a little bit to show you why that matters, OTC Bitcoin balance, and finally, the reason you're here is the price prediction. So let's move to the next, which is the catalyst. All right, guys, it is safe to say the tariffs are behind us. China and US have a tariff deal. And then, of course, UK is happening and Canada is happening. All the others are falling in line. Congratulations to United States working these things out. Obviously, it's going to take some time, but at least the tariff is behind us. Geopolitics has settled down. Iran and Israel have settled down. So hopefully this will continue. And it's looking good for 2025. The rules and regulations, that's what you saw on the agenda, which is the Stable Act / the Genius Act and the Clarity Act. We're not supposed to get to Donald Trump for his signature till September of this year. But today they've announced that he wants it in front of him by July 7th, guys. July 7th, that's like 10 days from now. This is going to accelerate the adoption of cryptocurrency, stablecoin, as well as Bitcoin. So this is exciting times. So this is a very important catalyst, guys. Clarity Act, in case you don't know, that really separates the CFTC, which are the guys that oversee the commodities, and Bitcoin, Ethereum, and many others are commodities. It defines what's a commodity, what's not a commodity, and also SEC's oversight on their responsibilities. So it really clarifies, and we were really looking for this for past 5 years. Capital gains tax cuts. Many of the United States are considering capital gains cuts. Many of the countries are looking for capital gains cut, mostly for Bitcoin and some cryptos. Inflations, and the Feds are going to cut the interest rate really soon. So that's a major catalyst. ETFs are buying left and right. You all know about BlackRock, Fidelity, and everyone is just buying Bitcoin after Bitcoin every week, thousands and thousands of Bitcoin. Corporate treasuries, everyone knows what MicroStrategy is doing. Everyone knows what MetaPlanet is doing. Mara and many others. There's 300 plus companies that are buying, and more have announced. And I'm going to show that in the spreadsheet when we get there. Okay. So nation states are buying SBR, that's Strategic Bitcoin Reserve. Nation states are buying left and right. State treasuries are buying. Many of the states in the US have approved. Texas just signed the other day. State pension funds, CalPERS and others are buying ETFs, having indirect exposures in Bitcoin. And these are exciting times, guys. So these are some of the catalysts. By the way, I have a very in-depth video. Just go check out my playlist. You'll see a lot of Bitcoin ones that have a lot of details behind Bitcoin fundamentals and all of that. And so I will leave a link to that at the end of this video. Okay, how big is Bitcoin? There's a visual on the left. You can see Bitcoin right now is around $2.2 trillion. And you can see the size of other companies. I mean, it's getting up there, right? Bitcoin is probably going to eat up a lot of this pie, and the pie will get bigger. But Bitcoin is on its way to tens of trillions of dollars, and don't be surprised. And to the right, I just wanted to show you that 3.47 million Bitcoins have been scooped up by all of these exchanges, ETFs, corporate public sector companies, private sector companies, and governments. And then in the bottom are around 250 different entities that have bought all these Bitcoins, and more are coming. And we'll dive into that. Just a quick snapshot of all the different regions around the world, how they have adopted Bitcoin. You know, the dark circle is 2023, and then the orange circle is the growth, which is the 2024. And it's looking very exciting, guys. Let's go through this. Crypto taxation around the world. On the right side, I've listed countries that treat Bitcoin with a lot of tax deductions. And there's more coming. US is considering, many other European countries are considering where Bitcoins will not have a capital gains tax on it. And if it does, it will be nominal amount, if any. So it is becoming a tax haven for people to buy Bitcoin and other cryptos. I've given you on the left side in 2024, look at Bitcoin. On all the asset classes, it has grown 121%. On the right side, you can see year over year from 2020 all the way to 2024, how it has outperformed majority, if not all of the asset classes around the world. So this is exciting time, guys. This is a chart that I got from the M2. I hope you know what M2 is, the money supply. This is specifically US M2, USD. There's about $21 trillion in circulations. I've overlaid, starting all the way from the bottom left, is back in 2020, January, when Bitcoin was $7,000. Okay. Then January 1st of 2021, Bitcoin hit 19,000. But look at the graph. That's money being released in circulation and keeps on going. Look at 39,000 is January 2022. And then the money starts getting pulled in from the COVID days. They're not releasing any more money. They're slowly taking the punch bowl away. And when they start doing that, Bitcoin went down to 16,000. And there are a few other reasons why Bitcoin went down, but that is primarily the reason. So money supply went down. And then notice it leveled off. And then we started to go to 37,000. And after that, now, as of today and last many, many months, the money is being printed and being released into the wild in the US and around the world. The M2 has exploded, guys. And of course, there are a few other reasons why Bitcoin is at 93,000 as of May 1st of this year. Of course, Bitcoin is higher right now, but this chart goes through May 1st of 2025. So as the money prints, this is very important to understand, there's about 3 to 4 month lag when the Bitcoin prices push up. So the more money gets printed, more money gets released, which is M2, Bitcoin goes up. Okay, let's keep going. We've already spent 7 minutes on this. This is the OTC, over the counter Bitcoin balance. There's about 2 million Bitcoins left with all the major exchanges like Binance and Coinbase and Bitfinex and BitMEX and all of those guys. If you add them up, there's about 2 million left. And this is where it's getting drawn down. And you can see the Bitcoin price in yellow going up as the drawdown is taking place. This is very interesting. Look where it is all the way to the right-hand side. There's only 2 million left. Where are the rest going to come from? They're going to come from you and me. And that's another reason why Bitcoin price is going to go up. All right, this is someone else's prediction from the Twitter. I just wanted to show you what he is predicting by end of 2025. If you look at this carefully, at end of 2025, he has us going to 100 and almost $70,000. But my prediction is going to be for 2026, end of 2026. This is a snapshot of one of the two, and I'm going to walk you through this in a second. But you'll see this is done on an exponential price growth, and this is on the high side. So you've got 479,000 being the lowest and $2.1 million being the highest in terms of what the Bitcoin price will be by end of 2026. And let me show you what I mean by that in my Excel spreadsheet where I have all the assumptions built in and walk you through that. All right, guys, this is the Excel spreadsheet that drove the AI model to give us all those numbers. So let me walk you through this. There are 3 boxes here: upper left hand, the right hand, and the lower. Let's start on the upper left hand side. So let me orient your eyes on column C. So you've got all the public companies and entities. They own about 841,000 Bitcoins. Private companies own this much. So I've added all of these into my spreadsheet and I took out the OTCs. So there is about 1.4 million Bitcoins that are not in circulation. They're being tightly held by all these nation states, as well as companies, as well as treasury companies and all of that, Bitcoin treasury companies. And on column D, I've taken the liberty to say, you know what? You'll notice that there's 200,000 and 400,000. Well, guess what? Mega Planet wants to buy another 200,000 and MicroStrategy wants to buy another 400,000. So I added that in here for future purchases. And I also said over here, I have 1 million allocated for US strategic reserve because they're going to buy 1 million. And I've given the rest of the world to buy 2 million. So all told, there's 3 million more Bitcoins that will have to be bought by end of 2026. And then other exchanges and whatnot, I said, let's give them another 500,000, let's say, for ETFs, BlackRock, and all of that. So there's going to be 4.1 million more Bitcoins that we will have to buy before 2026. So this number got fed into the AI model. Additionally, these are on the right side of the box. These are all the ones that I know of that are big. There are many others that are small. So I didn't want to really get down to somebody buying 100 Bitcoin, 200 Bitcoin. But these are the ones that have already announced. So Trump Media, ProCap BTC, Green Minerals, that's the one in Norway. And all of these guys have announced all these amounts in the last few weeks that they want to buy. So using today's average or next week's average Bitcoin price of 110, this is the amount of Bitcoin that they're going to get out of those dollars. Okay. And then I've taken a liberty to add one more here. Did you know there are 60 million millionaires around the world? If 10% of these guys just bought one Bitcoin, we're going to need 6 million of them, right? So let's say I threw that in there. So altogether, there's going to be another 6 million Bitcoin that will have to be bought. So what I did is from that, I go down here on the lower left-hand side, known future Bitcoin purchases. All that is adding the yellow and the green together, and that's what that is, okay? So I take these numbers, and I also tell the AI model that 19,900,000 have so far been created, 3.7 million have been lost, 1.4 million, which is coming from this brown color, is already bought and locked up. And so altogether is this number 5.1. And I tell it how many is left in OTC. And I said, go ahead and give me two models and let me show you what it came up with. So then I fed the Bitcoin numbers into my model using these are all the variables that I provided. That's from my spreadsheet. And this went inside the AI model. Gave it a time frame down here. You can see that 18 months. And of course, I told it additional things in terms of how many Bitcoins are getting mined every day, which you all know is 450 right now. It'll get halved in 2 more years. And then it spit out this model, which is the supply and demand model. Okay, this is a little more conservative. So it takes all of these. That's the formula. Don't worry about the formula. At the end of the day, it gives you three different price points. So it calls it conservative, which is in terms of the supply and demand, K equal 1 as part of the formula, you get $206,000. Okay. On the moderate level, you get $396. And on an aggressive model, you get 763. Okay. So this is what on my thumbnail from the low number on the high number. Now, using the same variables, I said, you know what? Why don't you use an exponential price growth? And this is the formula for exponential price growth. And I said, it's still 18 months. Rate of growth is all defined here. And it uses three different rate of growth, okay? 1.5, 1, and also 2. All right. So if you look at 1, I don't know why I didn't do it in an order, but the conservative is in the middle. It's $479,000 on Bitcoin. There's 1 million on the Bitcoin and 2 million on the Bitcoin. Okay. So it's a very exhaustive way of feeding the model with all of my numbers that you saw here. And that created all these price points, guys. So this is an exciting way of calculating Bitcoin pricing. I hope you enjoy this video. Please give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and like, and also leave some comments. Let me know what you think. And I am excited about the Bitcoin future through 2026. Take care, guys. See you soon. Bye bye.